Show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard. I woke up.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. My name is Zach from Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channel. It is almost the middle of the month. A little later than middle of the month, but you know what? This month really kind of flew by. So we're a little late on this one, but you know what? That's okay. We've still got time. Tonight, we're going to be giving you the middle of the month update for our One Hope Wines Community Pay It Forward fundraising efforts, helping out the Lucas Project. And you guys know my dear friend, Veterans Honoring Veterans. We're still working with them. You guys are doing a fantastic job out there. Everybody is working very, very hard. You guys are buying some wines. You guys are supporting some causes. This is great. We want you to keep this up. That's what this is all about. Once again, please make sure that if you have a problem with alcohol, we're not here to promote people. We're not here to hurt people with problems. We're here to take and promote you. We're here to promote these great organizations and tell you some of the great work that's going on that, you know what, you might not find anywhere else. But we know that you're going to find it right here in Community Pay It Forward and on the pACT channel, brought to you by our Goddess of the Grapes, Stephanie Samos, and our company and the pACT channel. Hey, then the second part of the program, at the top of next hour, we are going to introduce you to a brand new event that's gonna all come to a head on my 8th birthday. That's right. I'm going to turn 8 years old this year, here in August 15th. You know, been a long journey, long journey. Oh, and you know what's funny is I'm going to be turning 8, but I'm going to be, okay, it's the 8th birthday since I was run off the road. So it's my 8th second birthday. We're going to be announcing the program that Stephanie, I'm sorry, that Sarah, Emily, Mr. Z, and myself are working really hard. This is going to be something special, and it's going to be very informative, and it's going to be, well, we think it's going to be great. It's going to help us put the stand-up centers. It's going to help them get those built. It's going to help people who are not feeling normal. And it's going to give us a little bit of a clue on how to deal with some of these mental issues that we're dealing with right now in this wonderful country of ours. You know what? There's many different programs out there to help people with mental disabilities. we're going to try to bring you some of these different ways, because this isn't a one-stop shop. We all are different. We all need to be treated different. And so that's just a little bit of an idea on what's going on. But you know what? I'm going to cut this short, this little monologue short. I just want to say that we're very, very happy that you've decided to join us. And we want you to go on ahead and keep up the great work on what you're doing. But it's time to tell some of these wonderful stories, because like I said, we did this earlier in the month, and I just met Jess for the first time. I love her story. I love what she's doing, and I love how she's trying to help people. And then, as I mentioned, Bart is a mentor of mine. He's a great friend of mine, and I just can't wait to hear the stories again. So, without further ado, I bring you the goddess of the grape, Stephanie Simoes. How you doing, sweetie?
Doing great. How are you doing, Zach? I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we're finally getting to do this. And I'm extremely happy that I'm not sitting here at 102 point whatever I was before.
You weren't feeling
last
well.
time that we were here, because all I wanted to do was hit my head on the keyboard and go, just end it. But feeling much better tonight.
So glad you're
Joining
feeling
us,
better.
we've also got Jess Roney. How you doing, sweetie?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm glad to have you back. And then, as always, great friend of mine, Mr. Bart Bartholomew. Bart, how you doing, buddy?
Doing wonderful, and really happy to see you in a better condition than you was last time.
Yeah, last time I just looked like I was hungover. I wasn't hungover. I just really, really looked like it. I'll tell you this, I almost wish I would have been hungover, because hangovers are much easier to deal with than what I was dealing with that time. So,
well, thanks for having me on.
Hey, no problem, Bart. We'd love having you on. We love telling the great story of what you're doing. So, Stephanie, let's start with you. Why don't you go on ahead and give us a little introduction onto what you do, that one of the reasons why we're here.
Absolutely. Happy to kick it off. If you're tuning in for the first time to one of our monthly campaigns, my name is Stephanie Simoes. I am a cause entrepreneur with One Hope Wine. We are an award-winning Napa Valley winery that gives back with every single bottle of wine. Really excited. I have a lot to share with you, a new launch actually tonight. But first, I can't wait to hear from Jess and Bart and all that they're doing with their organizations. I will repeat again that for every $50 we raise for these organizations, I'm personally donating $25. So I want everyone to know that. Let's link arms. It's barbecue season, you guys. We can make a big impact for these organizations while stocking up on some favorite wines. So let's dive right in. Jess, I'm going to turn it over to you to share a little bit about the Lucas Project, what you do, and how you're really helping some caregivers.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for having me again. I'm Jess Roney, founder and CEO of the Lucas Project. And at the Lucas Project, we provide recognition, respite, and residential options for special needs families. And there are a lot of avenues into each one of those categories, but we're just honored to be a part of this, and I hope we can raise a lot of money to help special needs families and parent caregivers.
I think also, Jess, recently you had a documentary that was released that kind of shed some light on what the inside looks like for caregivers. Can you share a little bit about the documentary, maybe your journey with it, and how people may be able to access and view it?
Yeah, that was a 4-year project. It's called Unseen, How We're Failing Parent Caregivers and Why It Matters. And you can find out all the information at caregiverdoc.com. Back in 18, I just had this idea about, how can we make society aware of our struggles as parent caregivers? And I had been writing and then been podcasting and thought, maybe we need to create a documentary, and just posted this idea on Facebook. And I had a filmmaker and a producer from Nashville reach out and say, hey, we want to be a part of this. We met for lunch, and that was the start of this relationship, where 4 years later, we now have this film highlighting the struggles of parent caregivers and why it matters as a society, because, the society is only as healthy as the caregivers. We're all going to be in a caregiving role at some point in our lives. Either we're going to need care or we're going to be in that role. So just shedding light on why that's really important that we strengthen these caregivers and we provide the resources and support that they really need in order to make their lives as beneficial and as hopeful as possible.
Jess, can you please just give us kind of a rundown at some of the huge issues that caregivers run into? Um, you know, there's a lot of people who don't understand. You know, people who don't know think, well, this is their kid. I mean, they're supposed to take it. Yeah, we understand that, but as a caregiver, life is different. Can you explain to people some of the difficulties that caregivers run into, please?
Well, along that train of thought, I think we all understand that when we decide to have a child, or maybe not decide to, it happens. We understand like sacrificing for 18, 19, 20 years, like it's a sacrifice. But when you have a child like my son, Lucas, who will be turning 18 in August, who will require lifelong care, there's no light at the end of that tunnel. There's no hope. He's turning 18 next month. And I'm like, what are our options? So we care for this child till he's 50, 60. And Lucas's care, is total care. He is incontinent. He requires care with bathing, feeding, dressing, like every aspect of life. So my husband and I are looking at this like, okay, so this is a sacrifice for our entire life. And how come there aren't more resources, more support, more residential options, more assisted living options, more direct care workers to help remedy some of this stress? And that's the other part of your question. What do we deal with? It's isolation because the world just isn't made for families like ours. So we kind of hide out at home. It's anxiety. It's stress over the future. It's depression. It's PTSD. I know a lot of people even relate the caregiving experience to like a vet's experience. When you have a child like a Lucas, you live in constant fight or flight. And to come out of that realm of navigating throughout life is really, really difficult because you're always on. These kids don't sleep great. Their needs surpass everything in your life, and you're just always waiting for the next, need to call you to action. So you're constantly living at the state of really high anxiety and just trying to address that and trying to find some solutions and resources for these families so that we can come out of that state periodically and maybe have a little bit of hope in the process.
You have a lot of people who right now in the normal world who talk about how hard it is that during the lockdown we were stuck in our homes and everything like that. They're kind of getting a little bit of a sense what you've been going through now for 18 years, haven't you?
Yeah. And that's been kind of the beauty of the pandemic lockdown is finally, as special needs caregivers, we can say, oh, now you got a tiny glimpse of what we go through like every single day. And you're dying. Like you can't wait to get out of this pandemic lockdown. But this is kind of life for a lot of us. And just bringing that awareness to the forefront and saying, this is what we live every single day.
What are some of the things that the Lucas Project does to help caregivers?
Well, it's that recognition. So we provide awareness through the documentary, through the podcast, through different articles that we write that have been placed on various platforms. Respite, we provide respite grants to communities that want to start respite where they live, and also care packages that we send out to care packages around the country. And then our newest initiative is residential, because we're starting to find that as these kids reach 18, 19, 20 years old, there's nothing. And that's not fair for the parents who are honest enough to say, I don't know that I want to do this for the rest of my life. At some point, I want to be Lucas's mom, but I don't necessarily want to be his caregiver. So what are my options? And right now there's nothing. So we're trying to kind of fill in those gaps and say, well, maybe we can start some things and get the ball rolling and provide some options for these caregiving families that maybe want some alternatives as their child ages.
I know that you and I, when we first talked the first time, you were talking about maybe there being a hope that maybe there could be something started by some of the churches. You and your husband to talk to some people in the church to where they can, give you that little bit of a break. I mistakenly mentioned something about getting you movie tickets, and you said I would love to go to the movies, but I can't get out of the house. So, um, what would you say to anybody who's watching right now that says, you know what, we should do something? What would be something that you would say, okay, start here?
I would say form a relationship with the family because it's going to take a little bit of time for you to form that trusting relationship. And once the family has that with you, they will be eager to let you in to watch their child or whatever they need. But it's going to take a little bit of time. These kids have complex and unique needs. And they're going to need to be able to trust whoever's coming into their home to offer that care, but just start to establish that relationship. And maybe it's as simple as saying, hey, I want to bring over a meal for you guys on Wednesday night. What do you want? Or I think I said to you last time too, lasagna or tacos?
Yep.
Because special needs families are not very good at accepting help either. So don't leave it open ended. Lasagna or tacos? What do you want? I'm going to leave it on your doorstep and start to just form that relationship.
Yeah, because after our recording, after we listened to our interview, I had to ask Stephanie. So, what do you suggest for taco lasagnas? Because I'm a fat guy, so I just mix them together. I'd make a taco lasagna. That sounds delicious to me. So,
That works for me too.
yeah. So, um, what you guys in your care packages, if we've got anybody who wants to send you donations, if we got anybody who wants to send you, you guys had mentioned like care gift cards for Starbucks, or just gift cards in general, right? I mean, any gift cards really would work because it helps with something, but something just relaxing that you can do family style really helps you guys out, right? It kind of helps you relax a little bit.
Yeah, mini bottles of wine are great. Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, like anything respite oriented, spa products, coffee, teas, just anything that like brings a sense of relaxation, gift cards. That's what we try to extend to these families. Just, hey, here's this care package. We see you. We honor the hard and holy work that you're doing. Take a little break on the Lucas Project.
This is kind of going off the beat here, but let me ask you a question. We see those commercials with the lady who started with her autistic son, lavender soap factory. Does lavender help your son? Does it help bring him into a calmer place, or is that just a it's a
It,
myth?
it might help some people, but no, Lucas is not phased by lavender.
Okay, so well, I was gonna maybe suggest somebody send you guys some lavender soaps, or do something like that, but if it doesn't work all that well for you, then we won't worry about that. But other than gift cards, what could they send to you to help you fulfill all these wonderful care packages that you're doing?
Well, the care packages are for the caregiver. So
Yeah, yeah.
the lavender might work great for the caregiver. These kids with profound needs probably need something a little bit stronger than lavender, but I would say anything that's just in the vein of self care and like take some relaxation for yourself. So again, teas or bath salts or um, coffee or gift cards, just something along the lines of this is for you to indulge for a few moments of peace for yourself within your home. Because again, it's really hard for us to get outside of our houses often because this world just isn't really made for kids or for families like ours. It's very difficult to navigate. So just finding those few moments of peace within our home, that's a really huge deal.
Well, I told you before the last time that you were on that I congratulate you on taking something that is so difficult and bringing a light to it. My mom was for 27 years. She was a caregiver for people for adults with mental disabilities, and I know that there were times that she didn't have it. The care system there wasn't as intense as what you've got, but I know that I've grown up in an era where we understand some of the problems with caregiving, and I know that it takes a very special person. Even though this is your child, it still takes a very special person to do everything that you're doing. Um, your website is the official lucasproject.org, or
That's our Facebook page. Our website is the lucasproject.org.
okay, so I did have that right. It is just the lucasproject.org. But once again, we if you look behind me right now, you see the QR code for the Lucas Project. We still have time on the clock. Okay, um, you're hearing what is needed. You're hearing that this is stuff that you know. This isn't something that is you know that this is something that could really make somebody's life a lot easier. And when you buy the wines using the QR code behind me, and we're going to be sharing the QR code with you a lot more today, but just remember that you're going to be giving some help to some really wonderful people out there who are in very difficult situations. And I think one of the most telling things for you is that you've said, and it really did it touched my heart. It kind of made me swallow a little bit hard. Was I just want to be his mom. I don't want to be his caretaker. That's something that that's a very telling statement, because it's something that really hits at home how hard it can be. Um, your other kids, do they, in which you've got a large family, do your other kids, do they get to stick around and help, or do they how do they react with this? Are they a huge help, or is it something that you're kind of like going, on top of this I've got to keep the brood under control as well, you know?
There's always guilt. I mean, Lucas does take up the majority of my energy. I mean, to be honest, but they are a huge help as well. We pay them often to help out in various aspects, or to give us, 2 or 3 hours so we can go on a date night or whatever that looks like. They adore their brother. They truly do. But in saying that, I also know that their childhood has been gypped in some ways because he does require a lot, but it's their story. I mean, kids have way worse stories in the world, and it's up to them, what they're going to do with that story and with that experience. And I believe it will just make them better people, and it will make them more sympathetic towards humanity at large. And I think that's a story that any mother would want for their children. So it's just their story, and they're going to have to choose, how they're going to frame that as they move throughout life.
Well, I would like to again congratulate you on taking a very difficult situation and taking care of other people, because you understand the difficulty in what's going on. I just commend you for doing such a beautiful job and really caring about others, even though you don't hardly have time to take care of yourself. So you're doing a wonderful job. Please, folks, make sure that you order some wine using the QR code behind us. Once again, we're going to be sharing it. You can get it on our Facebook page. You can get it all over the place. Let's keep this going. We've got a little ways to go, and let's make sure that we take care of these wonderful caregivers. Stephanie, do you have anything else that you wanted to?
I just think what you're doing is incredible, Jess. I resonate with so much that you've said, and just the fact that you've created this, awareness for others and support for other caregivers. It's incredible. So keep doing what you're doing. I'm so proud to be a part of this in a very small way. So thank you for sharing.
Well, I'm honored to partner with you as well. So excited to see what we can do together.
Well, and please, if there's anything that we can ever do further, please feel free to reach out to us, because we do support you and we would like to see how we can um, help you continue to do the great things that you're doing for other people. So, but stick around. I'd like you to meet another great guy. This is fun because we didn't get to all meet at the first time. So this time we do get to meet everybody together. And now I'm going to bring in Mr. Bart. How you doing, Bart? How's it going, buddy?
Really good. Before we get started, I want to compliment Jess also. I didn't have a child that needed caregiving, but my wife got real sick after several years of marriage, and I became her 24-hour caregiver. And at the end, it was total care, just like you're talking about your son, and the respite is so needed. And I'm glad to know that there's someone like you that's reaching out there and not only doing what you're doing, but raising a family and taking care of your son. So I wish you all the luck, because I have about 8 years of caregiving experience with no training. It was just I knew I was going to have something, but I didn't know what. It was dementia, and I never had a situation to learn anything about it. And all of a sudden, it was upon me, and then it just gradually. So uh, I learned pretty much how to be a nurse and a husband and a caregiver, and I'm very sorry that you couldn't be a mom, because you lost that. So just want to thank you for what you're doing, Jess, and God bless you, and strive on.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You bet.
Okay, well, Bart, thank you for your support there. And Bart, it's your turn. Let's get into veterans honoring veterans.
Okay.
You and I have, it's well established, you and I have been connected for a little while. I actually met you right after your wife had passed, and you wanted to donate your wife's belongings to somewhere that was going to give them away and not treat them as somebody's toys. And we were so happy to get that. And then when you and I started talking, we went and we made a brief introduction into about an hour conversation, and it's turned into a wonderful friendship.
Yeah.
You started veterans honoring veterans because you witnessed people being introduced to each other, and you loved the program, and you've ran with it here in Northern Colorado. Can you please give us a little bit of an idea on what you guys do?
You betcha. Let's go back to just the fact of veterans coming home from being away from their family for a long time, and whether it's a son or a daughter away from mom and dad, or a husband or wife away from their husband or wife, and their children being deployed, or them being deployed. So when they come back, they very seldom ever get a pat on the back and thank you from civilians. It's hard to interact, get back into the community. So again, in 2018, just like you, Jess, I got an idea from watching someone else give a statue away, and I thought, what better way to give back to our veterans in our community, to tie on to what they're doing already. We have a breakfast club that has been going on since 2008, and it started with 2 World War II veterans at that time, and it's grown to over 1,500 veterans who've walked through the doors and had a breakfast at one time or another. We don't have that many coming in all the time, but that breakfast club averages, I want to say, between 75 and 150. This last Saturday we had, I think he said 113, and it's a buffet style restaurant, so it's really easy. You don't have to wait for waitresses to come around, take your order, or wait for your food. You can go up there and graze at the buffet table all you want. So it worked out pretty good. So I started this Veterans Honor Veterans, and what we do is show you one of the little statues, and Zach will probably bring the other stuff up later. But here's one of the statues. This is a Marine Corps statue, and we put a nameplate on the bottom of it. I think you can see it right there. And with that nameplate, we put the name of their branch of service, the rank that they were, and how many years they were in, and if they earned certain medals, we could put them on there. So we've got 5 statues. We got 6 statues. Actually, we have new one just came aboard, and it's a female statue in kind of fatigues that is saluting. Before that, we have this eagle. We've given probably 35 eagles to our lady veterans, and when we started doing the First Lady, some of the guys got come up and said, "We want to turn our soldier in for an eagle. It looks prettier." I said, "You can't do that. You got to stick with the mean old guy look." So, but anyway, since I talked to you last with 450 statues that we presented, it's been a couple weeks. We've added 12 to that, so it's just going better and better each weekend, and I get new names each weekend. So my goal is just keep giving statues away as long as I'm standing up and taking nourishment. I'm gonna give statues away. So it's if you want to see some of the stuff that we've done, the bottom of the screen of our website, it's got every picture of every veteran that we've given a statue to. It goes by the year, and there's also individual. You can see the home ones, the ones we did at home or at a hospital. So, and then also we have a Facebook page, and the Facebook page is more current. We can get that up real quick. The pictures take probably about a week to get them on our website. But guys, I tell you what, I differ than Jess. Jess is working hard for a good cause and taking care of situations. I'm out there having fun, Jess. I'm sorry to take that away from you, but veterans are very, very important to me, and they've done an awful lot. They're allowing us to sit here and talk to each other in a free country because they're keeping everything away from us. So again, if anybody wants to support veterans and they're not supporting me, I do this as a nonprofit as Jess does, but I just want as many veterans to get a statue as possible. And I'm proud but sad to say I get tears every once in a while from people who get a statue because they don't think they deserve it and they didn't do anything, and yet here's somebody giving them a statue. So it's awful fun. It really is.
We have to bring this up just because it's one of the things that, like I said, it was there was a screw up on my part almost a year ago, as we're at right now, and we tried real hard to. We wanted to do a celebration at Families, Cubs, and Causes, and I didn't get the names in a timely fashion. One of those things that I tried to jam too much onto my own plate, and then I ended up going, what am I doing? And you know, there comes the day, and I'm like, well, I don't know who these guys are. You know, so Bart did a wonderful presentation, not only to my father, which is still one of the things that I'll never, ever, ever forget, being able to be up there when my dad got one of these statues. He also presented one to my uncle, who had just recently lost his life, and we were able to send that one to his family, and so now his family gets honored by one of these wonderful things. On that same day, there was a little guy from Korea, a little old man from Korea, and you know, we went through, and he was one of the, I think he was the last one, Bart, yeah, and he was the last one to get presented. So the guy kind of knew how it was going to go, that, you know, we were going to get him his own special identified statue and everything. But boy, I'm going to tell you something. This little old man, he took and he grabbed a hold of that thing. And like I say, it was like him winning the Oscar. He was so proud of that because somebody cared enough to, you know, to do this for him. And so, Bart, I'm just going to say it. Don't ever underestimate what you do, because you do some wonderful things, my friend. You know, I mean, all of us have our own things, but what you do, you keep a memory alive that we need to keep alive. And I love being able to be part, as Jess said, or as I'm sorry, as Stephanie said earlier, I love to be the smallest part of what you do, because what you do is so important. But you don't, all of these statues are in northern Colorado right now, but you would make them for people outside of northern Colorado, but you would ask for the money to get them made.
Yep.
Can you?
Our mission is to give these statues away at no cost to veterans in northern Colorado.
Yep.
And our venue at the Golden Corral and the Breakfast Club, Pambet, is a great venue to do that, because we can kind of control it. And we're not a shop. We try not to sell. But like Zach said, if anybody listening that's got an uncle in Maine, or an aunt or a nephew in San Diego, or somebody in Florida, or somebody in Oregon, we would just ask that you would pay for the cost of the statue, $60, and then whatever it costs. We're not making profit on that. That's what we buy every one of them at from our vendor. So, but I've got a form that I would send you. You fill out that form on your friend or your loved one, and we'll be glad to do it. Sometimes it might even be easier for me to send you to the vendor, take me out of it, and he would sell it the same cost, and then that way I could concentrate on the local folks and keep that going. But anyway, it's working. When somebody calls and I just put them on the list and send it to my vendor, and we get her done.
Your engraver does fantastic work. The information that you guys try to get from the vendor, or for the engraver, is you try to get the name, the rank. With my father, you even got the emblem for his what am I trying to say here? But
was he in the Navy?
He was in the Army. And
okay, probably his battalion or his company.
There you go. Yeah.
Who he served with during his Army time.
Right, and we were in Berlin, so you put, I believe, his nickname on there, Berlin. The time he served, very in depth.
We personalize it as best we can.
Yeah.
Some veterans prefer to have maybe one or two medals that they earned while they was in. We'll put them on the statue. We'll put the rank, name, how many years it was, from what year to what year, and sometimes they were pilots, so we'll put wings. Sometimes they were paratroopers, so we'll put a parachute. Sometimes there was a Navy, we'll put the ship's logo. As long as we can get it on the internet, my engraver can put it on that nameplate. We don't want to put too much, get it to what they call too busy, and you can't see some stuff. So we limit it to what we get, but we try to make it as personal. That way it's sitting on your shelves. Someone come up and say, Grandpa, Dad, Aunt, whatever, what's that mean? And they can explain it to you and have their chest get out when they start talking about it and be really proud. So. Did I lose you, Zach?
Uh-oh, I think he's skipping. Bart, it is great to finally meet you.
Well, yes, and I've been watching some of your YouTube. I tell you what, you are a kick. I love that. I enjoy that so much that sometimes you take up too much of my day just watching you, because I just love it. You're just awesome.
Try to share as much as I can about what we're doing, the animals in our house that help keep us sane through some animal therapy, and of course the wine. Being able to,
you get it all in there. That's what's really cool. And I just love your YouTubes.
Oh, thank you. Well, it looks like Zach dropped off for a moment. So you both are totally welcome to stay for the One Hope portion. If you have somewhere else to be, I want to give you permission. Like, please don't feel like you have to stay on for this section. But I'll jump in, share a little bit about One Hope. Hopefully Zach will be right back on and he can share.
I want to sneak something in real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I bought 5 bottles, and did it for my my organization, and I got them, and my wife drank a little bit of wine, and but I'm a bourbon kind of a guy, but I thought, this is going to be kind of nice to have a bottle around once in a while. Well, my oldest daughter visited me this weekend, and she has some little gatherings every once in a while. They have a little wine, and I said something. I said, I got some wine. She said, well, Dad, I don't like the wine that you get. I saw what your mom drank, and it really isn't to my palate and stuff like that. I said, well, let me finish and tell you what kind of wine I got. She started talking a little bit. I said, would you hold on a minute? So I showed her your list of the 5 bottles, and she says, whoa, Dad, that's pretty good stuff. I said, you haven't even tasted it. She says, well, I see where it's coming from and who made it. I said, all right. So I said, well, we'll talk about it. She left while I was gone, and she took all 5 bottles.
You didn't even get to sample it. Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry.
So she didn't live too far from me, but it's a hassle. So guess what? I'm going to buy some more from you to have for me. And this time I'm going to buy it for the Lucas Project and go to your cause. So I can be part of that, because you really are doing a wonderful job. So consider me being one of your cheerleaders, Jess.
Well, thank you. And, I understand the road that you've been on as well. I lost my first husband to brain cancer in 2010. I was his caregiver for 3 years. So I often call myself a reluctant caregiver. I don't know what the Lord was thinking by making me a caregiver for my whole life.
Well, he picked the right person, because you've done it, and not everybody can be a caregiver. I know that, and my arms wrap around you just because I care for you, for doing what you've done so long.
Thank you, and I feel the same about you. I think people just want to be seen, and you're helping vets to be seen, and I'm helping caregivers to be seen, and just want to be seen for the work that they've done. So kudos to you as well.
Thanks.
Well, hey, everybody. Yeah. I decided I needed to take off for a little bit. I'm like going, Bart's got this. I'm out. So no, my internet decided, you know what? I'm tired of listening to you. So it shut me off for a little bit, but it tends to do that.
Well,
so
Stephanie jumped in and she took over. Man, I said she's good.
I'm telling you, I don't even need to do these anymore. I can just throw them to her. You get to look at the pretty.
We need you, Zach. We need you.
So, she's way prettier too. So.
Yeah, she really is. She really is. So I do not take any offense to that, because boy almighty, you're right there. So we just want to make sure that once again, everybody, keep up the great work. Please continue to do what you're doing. You're seeing 2 wonderful, wonderful people who have started 2 wonderful, wonderful causes. Bart is one of our mission partners at Community Pay It Forward. So every time that you make a purchase with one of our partners, as well as use the QR code right now, you can donate a portion of it to Bart. So please remember that. And every purchase you make can really make a huge difference and honor some veterans. So I wanted to thank both Jess and Bart for joining us today. We've kind of come to the point of the fun point for me, because finally, after 2 months, I get to sample some wine again. So you're more than welcome to stay and listen to the wonderful things that Stephanie's going to tell us about everything that's going on. Or you can, if you've got other things to do, please feel free to jump on off. But please make sure to just keep sharing the QR code, because we do want to make this as great for you as we can possibly make it. So, but
thank both of you, and I'll go stay on and watch a little bit.
All right, sounds great. So, but Stephanie, my friend.
Yeah. Perfect. No, we'll definitely jump right in, and I'll share a little bit about One Hope for those who may not have tuned in before. And when you have a moment, Zach, if you don't mind putting like the QR code on the screen, nice and large, you can take me off if you want, just so we can share with anyone who's viewing how to kind of connect with us, connect with the June event, and be able to have access to all the info. Perfect. Oh, you're right on top of it. Thank you. So the first QR code is right to our virtual event page with Community Pay It Forward. And on there, you'll see lots of info, fun recipes, different highlights on wines, and of course, highlighted our 2 monthly causes that we are supporting this month. Right underneath is the QR code that goes directly to the Lucas Project. That'll take you right to the One Hope website to shop for some wine and support the Lucas Project. And right underneath that is Veterans Honoring Veterans. That QR code will take you right to their direct fundraising link to support that cause. So let's jump right in. I see Zach smelling that wine, and he's normally a sweet wine drinker. So I am like patiently waiting for feedback on what he's going to think about the Malbec.
I'm just really, I'm really concerned about floral inky.
It's so good. It's truly one of my favorites. It's been one of my go-tos, and I'm going to share a little bit about that wine in a little bit. But for those who might be tuning in who are like, I don't even know what One Hope is, what is One Hope Wine? I'm happy to kind of jump in and share a little bit about who we are. So we are a cause-centric winery out of Napa Valley. If you've ever been to Napa, we're right in the heart of Rutherford. We're actually right next door to the Mondavi Vineyard. Really amazing place. Our center for impact, really. Everything comes out of there. And to date, we've donated over $8.2 million locally and globally, and to over 32,000 different nonprofits. So what's really amazing is, I like to say I have this incredible platform where we can give back to any registered 501c3 nonprofit of our choice. And in addition, the bottles of wine are also supporting our One Hope Foundation, where our main pillars of giving are for clean water, ending hunger, health, and education initiatives. So many causes are supported through those pillars. And if you've tried One Hope wine, you probably know that we have some of the most incredible winemakers in the industry. Robert Mondavi Jr., who is the grandson in the Mondavi family, Tony Coltrane, who came over from Opus One, and Mari Wells Coyle, who was formerly at Sterling Vineyards, who really believed in the mission with One Hope. And so she's our head winemaker. And I'm just so proud to say that, we have a female rocking a male-dominated industry, and she's killing it. She has created more than 5 90-plus point rated wines for our portfolio for less than $25. And double give back with every single bottle. So I get really excited to share about that. So for those who might be thinking, is it a private wine label? It is. Our winemakers do make our wine. So right from, the bud on the vine all the way to your glass, our winemakers do make our wine. I mentioned our wine is award-winning and delivered to your door in 3 to 5 business days. So it's really, really easy to support these causes. And the wine gets delivered right to you. And the donation check gets cut to, Veterans Honoring Veterans and the Lucas Project when the fundraiser is finished. So really, really easy to sip and support. So double give back with every single bottle. Let's sip and make a big impact for these causes. I'm really excited about the lineup tonight. How are you doing over there, Zach? Have you tried it yet, or are you swirling?
Yes, actually, I guess I need to put it into the camera, right? Yeah, so... I am doing the Malbec Is it Argentina Malbec or is it Malbec Argentina?
It's the Argentinian Malbec. Yeah.
Okay.
And that is actually a wine club exclusive. So just another hint there. You get all the perks with the wine club, you guys. Access to exclusives, free shipping, rewards, all the perks. But that wine is delicious. It's one of my favorites. If you want, I can start with that one and share a little bit about it. I was going to leave the red for last, but if you're enjoying it and you want to talk about the tasting notes that you're tasting.
And of course, you're not talking to a wine connoisseur. Okay. I'm Zach. All right.
I'm not a wine connoisseur either. I'm just a mom that really enjoys some wine.
Yeah. You can definitely taste like the cherry and the raspberry. You can taste the berries in it. I don't know if I can taste inky floral because I have no idea what the hell that's supposed to taste like, but I do like it. It's very fruity, and you're right. It is not sweet, but it does have a nice fruity taste to it. So um, it's not. I know I'm not going to get a sugar rush from it, which I do worry about on some of my other wines. So
well, it's grilling season, you guys, and you did a great job explaining that wine, Zach. You can take my job. The tasting notes on the Malbec are complex aromas of dark cherry, bright raspberry, forest petals, and ink. Introduce a big mouthful of fine-grained tannins, more ink, and a bright finish. The Malbec is from Argentina, and it has a touch of rusticity among the elegance and structure. That has been like a go-to of mine more recently, but now like that the seasons are changing, the weather is getting nice. We're grilling here at home. I don't know about you guys, but Malbec pairs really well with steak, pork, lamb, salmon, and like for some dessert options, try pairing it with like a chocolate cake or even a cheesecake, and it's delicious.
I could really see this with the chocolate cake. I really, really could. But I can see everything with the chocolate cake. I'm a fan.
I don't know if you want to take the QR codes down for a second, because I'm actually going to jump in and share some new bottles that just launched today. And I'll show them to you too. So our Bloom collection has launched, and these wines are absolutely delicious for this season. You don't have to spotlight me. I don't like to look at myself. But this is what our Bloom collection looks like. I'll kick us off with the Sauvignon Blanc. At One Hope, we believe in blooming where you are planted. So with that idea in mind, our most whimsical collection yet is born. This one has flavors of lime zest and tropical fruit combined with white flower in this subtly tangy Bloom Sauvignon Blanc. To elevate its notes of white flower, this unique Sauvignon Blanc is blended with 2.5% Muscat of Alexandria. So Muscat is that, Moscato grape, right? So you can serve this one alongside pesto pizza and Mediterranean salad. I have heard lots of great things. I can't get through tasting all the wines as soon as they're released. So I will say I haven't had it yet, but I'm really excited. I have another bottle in the fridge waiting, chilling. So you definitely want to have this one chilled, but I thought it would be really fun to share because this is brand new. It just hit the website today. So
when you mention white flower, can you explain that? And I just don't want people to I don't want people to think, oh my God, they're trying to get me to eat rose petals. What exactly does the taster mean when they say white flower?
So different grape varietals, and when they are cultivated, right, and made into wine, end up with different tasting notes. And now this is coming from someone who is not a sommelier. So I'm going to try to explain this to you as best as I possibly can. And what happens is flowers aren't being put into your wine. I get asked sometimes, well, were raspberries blended into the wine? No, that's just the tasting notes that come from the grapes. So we actually don't add anything into our wines. It's literally just grapes. People often ask about all kinds of additives and things, and it's literally the grape varietal, the season it was grown, the year, all of those things kind of come together to create what that grape is going to taste like. And of course, with the winemakers and their process, all of that kind of comes together for the tasting profile, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes much sense.
It makes much sense.
As much sense made.
So I love that note about the Muscat grape being blended in, even just with that little bit of a percentage. Usually our Sauvignon Blancs are not sweet, but they have a hint of sweetness. Now, I haven't tried this collection yet, but I want to say that that's probably where it's going to be is, with a hint of sweetness in there. So I'm really excited to try it and hear feedback from others too. Any other questions on the Sauv Blanc, Zach?
Oh, no.
Okay. Our next one in the Bloom collection, also just launched today, is our Pinot Grigio. And this one is typically on the drier side. even more dry than the Sauv Blanc. At least with our Vintner collection, our Pinot Grigio is our driest white. Really excited. Have not sampled this one. I have sampled the rosé though, and we'll get to that one next. So this one has bright tropical fruit and meets notes of honeydew and citrus blossom in this fresh and clean bloom Pinot Grigio. To bring out the tropical fruit characteristics, this wine is made with 5% Muscat of Alexandria grapes and 95% Pinot Grigio grapes. It is a beautiful pairing alongside goat cheese, crostini, and honey drizzle and lemon zest. Shrimp and also asparagus risotto. So it's a summer wine. Light, crisp. That's what I've heard on this one. Light, crisp, delicious, you know, a nice summer wine. Warm weather wine, nice and chilled. All right, so the last of our Bloom collection is the rosé. In my opinion, I think this one tastes a bit different than our Vintner collection rosé. Both are delicious, but just different. So still a rosé wine, but if you try the different collections, the different varietals do tend to vary. This one has notes of fresh watermelon and raspberry candy. Some say it tastes kind of like a Jolly Rancher. Meets hints of sour cherry in this delicately sweet and refreshing Bloom rosé. So this one is made from 80% Zinfandel and 20% Syrah grapes. This wine features a medium level of sweetness and is a perfect accompaniment of a variety of culinary pairings. So try this alongside a strawberry salad, prosciutto, which is one of my favorite things. I'm Italian, you guys, and melon skewers, prosciutto and melon skewers, and a grilled chicken curry. So that one is our new Bloom Collection Rosé. That one was absolutely delicious. I will be honest, I haven't gotten to the Sauvignon Blanc and the Pinot Grigio here yet. It's just me, so I can't get through all this wine so quickly.
You guys are also, you have a wonderful program where for like weddings or parties or something, you guys can engrave bottles.
We can. Actually, I have one of our...
I got her on one.
Yes. So we do have shimmer bottles. They can be personalized with logos and, you know, any theme for a fun party that's coming up. We can, instead of this white, you know, label being here, we can personalize and etch them. This one happens to be our sparkling rosé that is pretty new, just launched within the last few weeks. So we can do the etched bottles in the sparkling rosé now, as well as our gold and silver bottles. And this one says live out loud. Hopefully you can see
that's kind of what the etching looks like, correct?
Yeah. So this is what the etching looks like. And we can put a company logo on it, you know, a theme to a wedding, any kind of event, really. And we also have mini bottles too that are really great for favor. So I like to mention that too.
Why don't you tell us about since you mentioned the minis, why don't you tell us about the mini package that you guys offer for a taster, somebody who's interested in tasting many different wines?
Yeah. So what's really great is that we do have, for brand new customers to One Hope, haven't tried the wine yet, we do have a tasting flight option. And that includes the Sparkling Brut, our Vintner Collection Chardonnay, our Vintner Collection Pinot Noir, and our Cabernet. And those are our top sellers, you know, so you get to sample 2 whites, 2 reds. It's really great. And then you have a coupon to go back and shop for more wine after you've sampled through those tasting flights, which is really awesome too. So, thank you for sharing that link, Zach. That has all of the fundraisers on there. So if you want to check that out, that is always up to date with our current fundraisers, and you can access the Community Pay It Forward virtual event actually through that link as well. So thanks for sharing.
And that is something very, very important. Just because we highlight 2 of these every month doesn't mean that's all that's out there. So please make sure that you always take and check out, and always make these your first choices, because these are wonderful choices. But then check out and see who else Jess is supporting with her wine. Jess, how did people become just like you? And
You said
not
Jess.
talking beautiful and
He's
bubbly.
calling me Jess now,
How
you
do they-
guys. I think I
how
was
do
like
they raise
Sally
money?
or something the last time.
How do they raise
okay.
money for their family and raise money for great causes?
Yeah, sure. So what I do is called the Cause Entrepreneur. So I help nonprofits fundraise year round. I absolutely love that we have this platform where we can do this. So of course, the Cause Entrepreneur opportunity is always out there, you know, for those who are really passionate, love wine, love giving back, love to chat with you. But also the hosting opportunity is great. You can fundraise for your favorite 501c3 nonprofit, school, or church. 10% of any purchase goes back to the organization. A big question I get often is, well, is there a minimum that has to be met for that organization to get the donation? Nope. Every single bottle of wine donates to that cause. So if you're interested in hosting and fundraising for either of these two causes here, please reach out to me because this doesn't end here.
No.
You know, anyone watching that is, you know, passionate about caregivers, passionate about veterans, please reach out to Zach or myself. We'd love to partner with you and create, you know, even more give back, because the more of us there are linking arms, the more impact we can make, truly.
And if you're a 501c3 that you would like to join us next month, get a hold of us. Okay, all you got to do is reach out and say, hey, we like what you've done with the Lucas Project. We like what you've done with Veterans Honoring Veterans. How do we get involved? We'll get you involved. We'll bring you up here. We love doing this because, you know, these individuals that we're working with right here, Jess and Bart, one of the worst things that they can hear, and I don't want to speak for you guys, but I think that you guys could both really attest to this. One of the worst things that you guys can hear is, God, I wish I would have known about you before such and such happened. That's such a terrible thing for a smaller nonprofit to hear, is it not? Because you guys work really hard to get your name out there, and that's what we want to do. We want to help make sure that people hear about the great work that they're doing. Jess, let's start with you. Can you give us your website and your Facebook rundown one more time?
Sure. TheLucasProject.org, and then our Facebook is the official Lucas Project.
Okay, yeah, please make sure that you put in the official Lucas Project. There is another Lucas Project on Facebook, and it's not the right one. This is the right one. So the official Lucas Project on Facebook. So, and just this is the correct email to send you any information. Please check with Jess to see if there's something that you and your family can donate for these care packages. If there's something that if you have any questions about how can I support caregivers in our area, Jess, do you mind that question?
Not at all. No, I love that question. Happy to answer it. Happy to point you in the right direction. We're a nationwide organization, so we're always looking for ways to expand our network and just be able to expand our reach and help other caregivers.
Well, Jess, again, thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you so much for turning your family hardship into something wonderful. Keep up the great work, and we are really looking forward to talking to you here in the next couple of weeks about hopefully us being able to help you out a little bit further. So, but thank you so much for joining us, and good luck the last week of the month. Let's make sure that we keep these bottles being ordered. So, Bart, my friend, how do we get a hold of you?
VeteransHonoringVeterans.org is our website, and our Facebook is NOCO, NOCO, Veterans Honoring Veterans, and email is Veterans Honoring Veterans 1@gmail.com.
That's right. And because Bart is a part of the Community Pay It Forward family, you can also find him right here, Community Pay It Forward, honoring our heroes, both country/community. So you can find out more about him. Bart, again, my dear friend, thank you so much. I was really glad to hear that you got to spend Father's Day with your daughter. I was really happy to hear that. So, but even though she stole all your wine,
That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to do something to show you what I got for Father's Day behind me.
oh, I saw pictures of these. Yes.
This is this is my wife and I. These are actual canvas paintings that an artist did with pictures that we had, and my wife's was black and white. So, but they're 25 by 19 wide. So it's really cool that I can well, I got pictures of her everywhere in my house, so I'm not going to forget her. But yeah, that's what I got for my Father's Day. It was really cool. We was married for 51 years, so that's another thing. It was just really good that we had been together that long. So,
you know what,
Zach,
Bart?
I appreciate you letting me be on here. I'm honored, Stephanie. It's really cool to meet you, and Jess. I'm just really proud that you're doing what you're doing, and God bless you. And I know He does, because he's putting some pretty good stuff on you.
Well, Bart, I'm going to say this because I know you personally. You were married for 51 years, but you're still married to this woman. I know how much you still love her, and I celebrate you and everything you do. So,
Thanks.
Stephanie, let's show your link tree one more time. Thank you very much for everything that you do. Once again, this would not even be a thing without you jumping on board as quickly as you did. This was a great pairing. Haha! I got to use a wine word. This was a great pairing of One Hope Wine and Community Pay Up Forward. It's something that we're both we love doing, and we're still working on this upcoming month's programs. I do know, and Bart, you're going to recognize this one. We're going to be helping out in July, Chris P's Pig Rescue. So, Bart, you were in the event with us last year when they had the little mini pig in there. But yeah, it's a pig rescue here in northern Colorado. Some of the cutest pictures in the world come out of their website, off their Facebook page. But it is so cute that it's a sad thing that people buy those cute little animals and they think that they're going to be easy to take care of, and they realize, wow, this isn't as easy as I thought, and they get abandoned or they get abused or something else. So Chris P's takes and they've got a love for what they do, and it's a great program. So but we're going to be introducing at least one other program to be benefiting next week. So again,
before you leave, I need one of you two, Stephanie or Zach, to stay online with me for a minute. I tried to do an order while we was online, and there's a glitch somewhere, and maybe one of you two can fix my glitch.
I will send you a message, Bart. Don't worry. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No worries. I'll help you.
I've still got about another 20 minutes that we're going to talk about a new program. Like I said, if you guys would like to hear about the new program, I invite you to stay on because, but if you've got to run, please feel free. But we do have a new program that's coming up, and this is something that it's an issue that we've got right now. And Sarah Goodell, Amy Goldmer, Mr. Z, and myself, we are proud to announce that for the next 2 months on Fridays, we're going to be running special podcasts on Fridays. I guess I better do this. I know, but they'd still rather look at you than me. But every Friday, we're going to be running podcasts dealing with mental health workers. We know that we've got a mental health crisis in America, and it's time that we do something about it. For the next month or 2 months, we're going to be talking to all different types of people who work in the mental health world, because this is not a one-stop shop. This is not a one solution is going to fix all. Okay. You're different than I'm different. We're all different. There's some people are going to need medication. Some people are going to need Thank you, Jess. I appreciate it so much. Jess is going to be leaving us, but thank you so much for joining us. But this is not a problem that can be solved by one one. There's not one solution for it. So what we're going to be doing for the next 2 months, 2 months is we're going to be taking and we're going to be introducing you to different programs, programs throughout the country, programs that are going to be beneficial to all the different types of people. We can make educated decisions based on what you're going to hear on July or on August 15th. Why is August 15th important? Well, it's not to anybody else. It's very important to me. August 15th is going to be my 8th year anniversary from when I was run off the road on my motorcycle. I enjoy trying to help people on that day. Last year, we did Families, Cubs, and Causes. This year, we're doing this. This is called this is a brand new thing that we're working on, and we're doing. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm paying attention to what you guys are doing, but we're calling this rebuild the. Jeez, I am so messed up right now. Your wine got to me. Your
rediscovering the happy place.
Yes, rebuild the happy place.
Rediscovering, dude.
Rediscovering the happy place. Rediscover the happy place. Thank you. So much information going on. Thank God I've got producers who can keep me straight. One of the things that we're going to be doing is we're introducing this to everybody tonight. Nobody else has heard about this except for this until right now. We're introducing these two little things right here. They're called. These are our building blocks. And I'm sorry there's such a small picture, but we're asking you to purchase a building block. And we're going to build a memory wall. And these are for people who lost the fight of mental illness. You can help us by being a builder, or you can help us by being by honoring someone. This is a builder, or this is an honorary brick. So if you have somebody who lost the fight to mental illness, you make a donation, you can get this brick. And wow, you really can't see the printing on this one, but this one says, I lay this brick for the safety of my community. If you want to take, and if you would like to be one of the builders, you'll get a brick based on the donation, and you'll be able to help us build this wall. And this wall is going to be in honor of the people who lost battles. Okay. We're losing too many people. We're losing way too many people to mental illness. There's many different types of mental illness. We're going to be talking about age, the different ages. We know that we've got children who are battling with mental illness. We're going to be talking about teenagers. We're going to be talking about adults, the different types of mental illness with adults. We're going to be talking about solutions and what happens if we don't find the right solutions. Unfortunately, as much as we love wine, self-medication is a huge problem. And if we can get to them before they self-medicate and we start to get in front of this could be something, that we can really do a lot of help with. All the donations are going to go to, first and foremost, help us spread the word and try to get as many outlets to show this roundtable on the 15th that we can. We want to be in front of millions and millions of people for this. Okay, it's really important because we cannot start a conversation until we know what to say. That's one of the things that we're asking you to do. Join us on these podcasts. Help us find the right words. If we don't speak up, we're losing people. Okay, you've heard us talk multiple times about the deaths of veterans. 37 a day is what it is right now. 37 a day. That's 57,000 veterans by the end of this year are going to make life-ending decisions. That's 1% of our society. That's 1% that has raised their right hand. That's the reason why Bart does what he does. 1% of our country raises their right hands, gives an oath to defend our country, to honor our country and honor our freedoms. So imagine what those numbers are outside of veterans. This is something that's got to stop. The violence that is continuing, that is brought on by mental health. We're not here to talk about the politics of it, because the politics of it are for other shows. If you want to deal with the politics of it, I implore you, go to the news networks. They can do all the piss and moaning about politics that they want. We want to talk about the problem. The problem is what is important here. The solution is even more important. So let's come together and let's talk about this. Let's bring this in together. Let's raise some money. We've got family family sponsorships where we ask families to, as we said, buy a builder block, help us build this wall, help us build this wall of memory. This is a wall, let's be honest, this is a wall of heartbreak, because these are families who have lost family members or loved ones or friends to this dreaded disease. This disease is not going to go alone. It's not going to go away alone. It's just not. We need you to help us step up. This is a time to get your voice heard. Do you work in the medical field? Do you work in the mental field? Have you tried a program that worked for you, that has helped you? We ask you to please get a hold of us. We want you on our podcasts. We want you on the roundtable. On August 15th, we're going to have, and it's starting, I'm going to say this right now. It's starting as a 3-hour roundtable podcast, because we've got a lot of things to talk about. I've been known to do a 22-hour podcast. If I have to do a 10-hour podcast on that day to get everything in, I will do it. I'm not scared. Okay, I'm a little scared, but I'm not all that scared. But this is a serious issue, and this is something that we need to get ahead of. I've said this before many, many times. This is not a you thing. This is not a me thing. This is a we thing. Mental illness affects every single one of us in different ways. There are days that all of us feel terrible. There are days that all of us feel run down. The stuff that Jess works with. Can you imagine the pressure on caregivers? The pressure that they got to go through because they're not feeling like they're doing enough when they're doing everything they can do. Can you imagine how a veteran feels when they feel like they're left alone, that there's nobody who understands them? We can put our fingerprints on this. We can form relationships with other people that can help them out. But we can only do it if you let us know that they're out there, if they come and talk to us. We want to be there. We want to make sure that somebody says, this is my personality. I'm not a guy who can sit in an AA setting and talk to people about who I am, what I do. Okay, what about doing it this way? What about hypnotherapy? What about family therapy? We can help, folks, but we need to know that you're out there. We need to know that you care. We need to know that you're here for this. We need to know that you're here for them. You also need to remember that mental health it's not something that's next door. It's something that might be in your own home. You've got to know the warning signs. Let's make sure that we understand what's going on. Let's come together. Let's help each other. Let's help each other through this. When you go to Community Pay It Forward on Facebook, tomorrow morning, we're going to release everything that we've got. Okay? And you can really start being part of what we're doing. Do you want to know what we're doing? Send us an email to networking@communitypayitforward.us and get our email blast. I'm going to be sending out a special thing on email that's going to be announcing this worldwide. This is very important. We need your help. Once again, this is not a one person show. This isn't something that one person's going to be able to handle. But if you've got one person standing to your left and one person to your right, we have a chance. If we're all pushing in the same direction, we cannot be stopped. Let's get ahead of this. Let's come together. Let's work together. Let's make a change. Let's make a change that's going to just make our world so much better. There is enough negativity in this world. Let's do something positive. If you know anybody who wants to be part of this, please get a hold of us. 970-909-0751. 970-909-0751. I'm celebrating my second birthday this year with a goal. We want to save at least one life a week. That's our goal. Do we know if that's going to happen? Whether I do or not, if we do the best we can do, I'm going to think we did. If we can make one person change their mind on making that life-ending decision, if we can make one connection to where we get a person who is at their wit's end, if we can get them the help that they need. If it's a caregiver and we can get them to Jess, if it's a veteran, we can get them to Bart, and we can help them celebrate what the good they do instead of just being a memory, then this can be very successful. I ask you to join us. Join us on rebuilding the happy place. Like I said, we're going to announce everything tomorrow. We were hoping to have it tonight, but you know what? No matter how hard I try, that 25th hour just will not fit into a day. It just won't. I'm very happy that we were able to bring on who we were able to bring on tonight because, like I said before, these are some of my favorite people in the world. I love what we do. I love what we've been doing. I love everything that we can do together. And I really do believe that if you tell one other person who can tell one other person who can tell one other person, we can make a huge difference here. We can save that life a week. Let's start with one. Because we can't save two until we save one. All right? Once again, the money is going to go after we get this event done and we get it spread as far and wide as we can. The rest of the money is going to go to the Community Dare to Care stand-up centers. Bart, are you familiar with stand-downs? Oh, it looks like he may have froze on us, or maybe I froze. So, okay, I think he froze. We're kind of seeing you move now. He's alive. It was me before, but Bart, are you familiar with the stand-downs? The veteran stand-downs? You're on mute again, sir. Yeah, damn that mute button.
No, it's good to mute it because, I've been at many stand downs over the years.
Okay, can you kind of let people know from a veteran standpoint what a stand down is?
Well, there's multiple opportunities to reach out to multiple organizations that have a way to maybe ease your thoughts of not being wanted, ease your thoughts of not hurting yourself, relaxing you. Maybe there's a organization in there that gives massages or acupunctures. Maybe there's a veteran like me that could sit down and just sit over a cup of coffee, a pop, a glass of tea or whatever, and visit a little bit. There's organizations that's going to offer you to come to their place. You might even get a free haircut and get a manicure if you want to. They might have those there. So not everyone's going to have the same thing, but everything that there is for the veteran. And that's the thing. And what I try to do is I try to find a veteran that has had some struggles and might still be having struggles, take him to one of these stand downs and just turn him loose and not walk him through it. Just let him do it on his own. Because if you force somebody to do it, they're not going to do it at free will. They're going to do it because you made them do it. But if I can get them in the door, then the people will do the rest. So stand downs are really important. I really think we need more of them, and because that 37 number is astonishing that it went up that much, and the calculated figure over a year is you got to put that in your mind. You got to say to yourself, this can't happen. We have got to stop this, and it's going to take Zach's, it's going to take Stephanie's, it's going to take Bart's, and it's going to take anybody that we know that's having trouble. We have a crisis number that we always give out to everybody. I've got it on my key ring. I don't have it memorized, but I have it available for anybody that I've got a couple of them around here, but my place looks like a mess. I've took so many trips this year. I keep piling paper over here. Now I got a stack of paper I got to go through since I'm home. I'm tired. I can't do all this traveling. Too many birthdays, Zach.
Yeah. Well, now I've got 2 a year. Imagine that. So,
Yeah.
it's kind of one of those things. So our stand-up centers are going to be kind of like the stand-down centers. That's kind of like the stand-down events, except for what we're wanting to do, Bart, here. And this is something that I hope that you approve of. We want to have a veteran data where you have the doctors come in and join us, or the RAs, or the doctor's assistants that come in and give a quick checkup. Have the dentist come in and give a good health checkup on the gums and stuff like that. Have people come in, offer haircuts and suits for, like you brought us your wife's beautiful clothing. We want to have a closet that is for job search. Okay, we want to have areas where people can take and build resumes and some templates to take and build that resume and really make a good resume and really try. As far as even computer labs where people can reserve a computer for 3, 4, 5 hours, make a little bit of money to help their family get up and going. And then we're going to continue here at the stand-up centers, Bart, the community care donation dens, where they get the free clothing, the free housewares, the free furniture. This is how Bart and I met, was because of those. Toys, baby needs, stuff like this. It's really important, and it's really something that's great to do. Here is, I'm going to copy and paste this to our comments. Right here in the comments is from our great friend Sarah, and it's 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255. When you press 1, it goes to the veteran suicide line. Or you can go to www.vetsforwarriors.com. www.vetsforwarriors.com. That's the website. So please look in the chat and go from there. So, Stephanie, you are also a caregiver of a child. You have a child with special needs.
Yeah, tonight was actually very moving. And I resonated with so much that Jess was sharing. Although our situations are not exactly the same, there's a lot that goes into it. And this is something that our journey started about 6.5 years ago now. And it's exhausting. Every word that came out of Jess's mouth to explain, the situation is so true. And it is isolating, and a lot of people don't understand from the outside looking in. So, be kind. You see a mom in the grocery store with her child having a tantrum, and, instead of judgment, just be kind. Maybe offer that mom a coffee. She probably needs it, So, really, really great show tonight. I absolutely loved hearing from Bart and getting to meet him. I love what Jess does with the Lucas Project. I'm just honored to be a very small part of being able to share more about these incredible causes. I love having this partnership with you where we have monthly campaigns, Zach, with Community Pay It Forward. It's awesome, and together we can do more and do better.
Well, I want to again, and it's unfortunately come to the end of the show, but you know what? It was a great show. But I do want to, once again, I want to thank Bart. I want to thank you so much. I want to thank Jess for coming on, and please make sure you let me do this one more time before we go. Please make sure for the next week, your little phone QR code reader burns out reading these wonderful QR codes. The top one is for our virtual event page. The middle one is for the Lucas Project. And the bottom one is for Veterans Honoring Veterans. You can also see the links right underneath the words. You can see the links that you can take and type into your browser, and you can go right to their page. Folks, this is great causes, wonderful, wonderful people. You've met the people. You see the need. You can really feel the need on this one. You can feel the need on all of them, but this was one that, like I said, you see how tired Jess looked. I mean, you can tell that it's hard. Well, she's not the only one out there dealing with this, so let's make sure that we help people like this. So, once again, top QR code, virtual event page. Wonderful, wonderful. I mean, Stephanie is so good on that page. She shares so many wonderful recipes and ideas and pairings and the information about the wine. Then you got the Lucas Project in the middle, followed by Veterans Honoring Veterans. Please, please, please make sure that you keep shopping. We got another week to go on our campaign, but remember, this does not end at the end of the month. So we've come to the end of our show. I want to thank everybody very, very much for everything that you guys have done, for everything that you put up with. Sorry about my magician act there in the middle of the show. I wanted to go on a little bit of a roundabout. I was just going to go and...
We had you covered. Don't worry, Zach.
Yeah. So, and that was before I started drinking. So that's a little scary, Now imagine now that I've been drinking. But please remember, folks, nobody has to go it alone when we all come together. You can do so much, and it doesn't cost a dime. If you've got an old hoodie in your home, doesn't fit you anymore, doesn't fit anybody in your family, put that hoodie in your car. You see somebody battling the elements, give it to them. Doesn't cost you anything, but it means the world to them. You made a little too much food. You're not going to eat it. Put it in an old butter bowl. Heat it up. Go give it to somebody who's battling hunger. There's only one race on this earth, and that's the human race. It doesn't matter your color, your religion, your beliefs. Cold kills. Hunger kills. When we come together, we can stop this. My name is Zach Clayton. I've been joined by Stephanie Simoes, Bart Bartholomew, my wonderful, wonderful producers, Emily Golmer and Sarah Goodell. And we also had Jess. I'm sorry, I cannot forget Jess. She took off. But she was here. So Jess Roney was here with us with the Lucas Project. Please remember to love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. Thank you very much, and join us next week for another pACT. And please make sure that you join us on Friday when we kick off our brand new event, and we start this off strong. Let's change lives, folks. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home. Out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.